G&G Productions presents the Farmers National Bank Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Get ready for Washington and Marion County basketball as our G&G teams speak to the head coaches and a Washington or Marion County basketball legend. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show is brought to you by Farmers National Bank, Ram Construction, Jesse Insurance, Lebanon Tourism, and Citizens National Bank. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show, a presentation of G&G Productions.
Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday Morning Coaches Show right here on G&G Productions and Facebook Live. I'm Hal Good. I'll be here for the next hour talking high school basketball with Marion and Washington County and what's coming up for the 19th and 20th District. And also this morning, we talk again to another legend on G&G Productions. And this morning, a Washington County legend, a commanderette from the start, and now has circled back around to where she is the principal of Washington County High School. I'm talking about Melissa Hutchins. We'll be talking to her as well. This morning, we're broadcasting live as we do every Saturday morning live. We're at School Grounds Coffee in Lebanon. A lot of folks will say, well, that's the old Lebanon High School, and it is. A building that a lot of blood and sweat went into, and a lot of work to make this facility first class. As you can see behind me, this is a state-of-the-art facility. It's a great place for coffee. It's a great place for lunch, and we'll be talking more about that later as we're going to talk to Ashley Knopp and also Robin Humphreys, because this is where the Lebanon Arts all takes place right here at the old Lebanon High School at Center Square. So it's a beautiful location for us to be here on a Saturday morning. Encourage you to call your neighbors and friends and tell them that the Coaches Show is on live, but also they can watch it anytime, Facebook Live throughout the next week, right here on G&G Productions. So keep it right here. We're going to get started in just a moment. We're going to talk some Marion County Lady Knight basketball with Bree Elder, head coach of the Lady Knights. All that's next, right here on the Farmers National Bank Saturday Morning Coaches Show, which is a G&G production. So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights good luck, go Knights!
At Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, we'd like to say, wow! Wow! Thank you for voting us the best bank in Marion County, the best checking and savings in Marion County, the best loans and lending in Marion County, the best mortgages in Marion County, the best customer service in Marion County, and the one we're proud of, the best place to work in Marion County. Thank you to our customers and the community, and we couldn't do it without our great employees, so we are so proud to be voted the best place to work. Farmers National Bank, we're here for you. Farmers National Bank, 136 West Main Street in Lebanon and 2160 Campbellsville Highway. Farmers National Bank, member FDIC.
To a farmer, a handshake is as good as a contract, and a man's word is something you can actually build on. So to have an insurance agent who's accountable, trustworthy, and dedicated to providing the best customer service possible, well, that sure does go a long way. And that's why the farmers in Lebanon trust Jesse Insurance.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue, across from the post office. Call 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
Back on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show, brought to you by G&G Productions. Sure glad to have you alongside, as we mentioned a moment ago this morning. Again, on location this morning in Lebanon And here in Lebanon, we're at School Grounds Coffee, which is a great place for a cup of coffee or even lunch. And we'll be talking more about that later, but encourage if you'd like to come by, talk to the coach. We'd love to have you this morning. If you're happen to watching this on Facebook Live at any of our locations, we do the Saturday morning coaches show. Bree Elder is head coach for the Marion County Lady Knights in her first year, 7-14, 2-3 in district play. Definitely getting ready for the district tournament that's coming up in the 20th at Campbellsville, but won't be your first district as you're a longtime player for this program. I know last time John had a chance to interview on the show. Talk a little bit about your Marion County history, because I know you went and played at Dayton, and when you played here at Marion County, you played with some great players, but left a great tradition here.
Yeah. Well, it all started in middle school. We all was just little knuckleheads, me and Michaela. Our first year, we didn't have Cliven yet, but we went out there and it was just fun, you know, and that's when I think I fell in love with a game of basketball. Going on, actually that year we had Dennis George and Jim Reed as our coach. That next year is when Milby came, Cliven came with him, and then it was like, it just went on from there. We built from ground up, literally. High school was one of the best times of my life. I feel like we were like 8-peat district champions, 4-peat region champions. We had state appearances, and then my junior year we got put out in the, I want to say, Final Four, and then my senior year we got beat in the championship game by Manual by like 2 or 4 points. And it was all just amazing. The teammates I had was just incredible. The coaches, I'll just never forget it. It was a time of my life. I know that next year after I graduated, Michaela, Clive, and them, they went like 39-0.
Correct.
It was incredible. So it was just amazing.
Well, some of the folks you mentioned are also like Jim Reed, Dennis George. They're born here, raised here, stayed here, and got involved in sports. How did that help you in your coaching? How did that kind of help you by being surrounded by leadership like that, to where you take on your role this year as leader of the Lady Knights?
Like, I still see Jim Reed to this day, and it's just like our bond never went nowhere. It's still Coach Reed, and it's all love when I see him. Dennis George, he comes to the majority of the games, and I see him, he gives me a hard time. He's like, yeah, what coach started you out with this? So every time I see him, everybody that I see, whether it's Coach Reed, Coach George, it's all love. Marion County is all love. I'm so Marion County, I love it.
What have you found transitioning from player to coach? Some people really struggle with that. But, I mean, you have to feel pretty good coming in. I mean, you're playing for second tonight in the 20th district, 7-14, very respectable, 2-3 in the district. How's that transition been for you?
It's been different, a whole lot different. As a player, you just get dressed, go out there and do what you got to do. As a coach, you got to prep. You got to get all your girls ready mentally, physically. You got to know what the other team does well. It's just like, back then we had to study the scout. Now I'm putting the scout together, and it's just like, but it's all good though. It's a big difference, but there's all different levels to the game of basketball. So this is just a step up from being a player. So
sometimes it's like being in business. I always tell in the business world that you can always be good colleagues, but it's tough to be good friends sometimes.
Right.
Because if you're doing business, there are things that are going to occur that discipline comes into play. Have you found that in? Because quite frankly, I can remember when you were playing, and it just seems like you just got out of date. So your age is real close to a lot of these young ladies, and they probably look to you as not only a mentor, but as a friend.
Yeah, and with them, I don't try to look at them like, I know they look at me like we're close in age, we're this and that, but them, I let them know, like, I done been there, I done this. Like, I know what it takes to be on top. I know what it takes to just push through adversity, you know what I mean? And with them, I just feel like they look at me as in close to their age, but they're so respectful, as in like me being the coach and them listening to me. With it being my first year, I feel like everybody's just learning each other.
Right.
Like, I do know them. I was around when they was babies. So, but as far as the game go and me coaching them, it just takes time. You know what I mean? And this year it was really what it was: me learning them learning me. And I feel like once I get them in a good summer setting, and I can work with them how I want to work with them, and just go from there, everything will fall into place.
And I think you use that to your advantage. I mean, your court savvy shows that. When it's game time, it's time to take care of business, and you do just that.
Yeah. It's time. We always went through that as players. Like, we was friends with the other teams, too. Like, we always would show up at the games, and we would say, hi, what's up? But when that buzzer go off and it's game time, it's strictly game time, and it's on, so.
Talking to Bree Elder, head coach of the Marion County Lady Knights, I had a conversation with Sis Roby. We want to bring her in at some point in time as a legend for Marion County.
Definitely.
Her and Freddie Leathers, and they both got so much going on. Sis, as a matter of fact, out of town and has a lot of time with her mother right now. But you think about coaches like that too that go back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the tradition and the legacy. It still hums around the Roby Dome, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you can't think of Sis Roby without saying Roby Dome. I mean, it is what it is. It's the Roby Dome. So, Sis Roby, she's I reached out to her when I got the job because when we was putting together Night Madness, I was wanting her to come out and do some speaking when she had a lot going on. So I respected and I understood that, but she's just a phenomenal woman. You know what I mean? So I always keep Sis Roby in my pocket because I never know when I can use her, So
she's an
great.
Awesome lady.
Yeah.
She's an awesome lady. We're thinking about you, Sis, and your mother that you are helping out with.
Yes,
a couple of games, Coach. Let's go back since we haven't spoke to you for a couple of Saturdays. I wanted to talk about the Eminence Holiday Tournament that you played in. It really kind of got your team going. Holiday tournaments are good tournaments to play in as a team. It can bring teams together, and you came up with a couple of wins and one loss, but really seemed like from the score that you played well. Wins over Sayre and Model and a loss to Paris in a close one.
Yeah, the championship game was a really good game. I felt like everybody was doing what they were supposed to. We just couldn't put together at the end. Other than that, I feel like that built their confidence. That tournament itself built their confidence because now they see that we can compete with teams. It's not just like the game of basketball. I call it a game of runs. Mm-hmm. You can go in and be with a number 4 ranked or number 2 ranked team, but if they're playing down to where you're at, it's anybody's ball game. Or if you're playing up to where they're at, it's anybody's ball game. Mm-hmm. So we should never get discouraged on how many wins or losses somebody has or what they did prior to the Christmas tournament. I felt like that was a good learning lesson. Like it's anybody's game when it's time to play ball. So.
Yeah, and came back, and then you went to Collins, and Collins a much bigger program, bigger school, but you came out with a nice victory there by 10.
Yeah, that was really good. Actually, the coach there is China Dow. I played AAU basketball with her at Blue Chip. We played Kentucky Premier, so we knew each other as players. And then just putting together the scout, I felt like is what put us ahead in that game. Like we knew what we needed to do to get that game won.
Came back, and then you had a couple losses on the road, but came back at home with that Campbellsville game. And I know that was a big game for you to play Campbellsville because of the 20th district, the seeding. That was back on February the 1st. You came up with a win by 7.
Yep. The girls, they was ready. Before the game, they was asking me questions. Of any other time I'm asking them questions like, what about this girl? What about this girl? But this time they was like, nah, Coach, we ready. We ready to get this stuff. So that game was a fun game. I felt like it's what we needed.
Well, the district win, that makes it fun when you win games like that. But when you see your team help build that way that they play together, that also has to be fun for a coach to see.
And they was
that.
creating their own offense. Like I try to tell them, like, we got to dictate a basketball game. If we create our own offense and we control what goes on their end, then that's us dictating it. And that Campbellsville game, that's what they did. They dictated the whole game, and it was just fun. And I showed them that, like I said, no matter the wins or losses, as long as you're having fun and you're playing together as a team, the outcome is always greater. So.
On down your schedule, I want to talk about that win at Adair County. Very important win on the 8th. It was at Adair County. It's a tough place to win in anything, but you handled them well, 63-52.
Yeah, that was, again, they was ready to go. District, with district, I always, before the games, I tell them we're 0-0. Mm-hmm. Like whether it's Campbellsville, Taylor County, I don't really care who it is. We're 0-0. It's anybody's ball game. We just got to go out and do what we do and do it well.
Who played well for you that night that you really thought had a standout game?
Adair County game? Mm-hmm. Lily had 21 and 10. She was lighting it up. She was ready to go. I told her to get out of her head. She has a real hard time of getting in her head and get discouraged real easily. So I tried to tell her to stay out of her head, and she had the game of her life. That was her career high in rebounds and scoring. De'Ara, she almost had a triple-double. She had 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 blocks. Like, it was good. Everybody was just
Excellent,
together.
excellent. Then you come up, you played North Hardin last night, 54-40, come up with a loss. Lady Trojans usually always have a really solid team,
Yeah.
and I know you came up last night a little bit short.
If we would have played the same way in the second half, or in the first half that we did in the second half, it would have been a closer ball game. I felt like that would have helped us out. The first half, it was just a little sluggish. We didn't really get to where we was getting to until the second half. So, but that North Hardin team is a really tough team. They're really good, disciplined team, quick, athletic. It was good. It was a good experience.
They're going to make some noise in the 17th district down there. I think, of course, we talked about it earlier. I want to get your comments now. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have to try and suffer through that Central Hardin team.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
Lady Bruins are really good.
Yeah, they are good right now. They're working together. They're playing hard. They're doing everything they can. So they're a good team.
And playing well this time of year is really important. How do you feel like your team is playing right now? I mean, we're just right on the edge of the 20th district. Is this where you want to be from the first of the season?
Yeah, from the first of the season, I feel like everything just slowly went up. So I feel like we're in a good spot now. As long as we do what we're supposed to and we create our own offense, we'll be all right coming into the district. Because like I said, we already know it's anybody's. We were close to being tied. If we win this game tonight, we'll be tied with Kemmelsville for the district record. So if we just go in like we're supposed to and do what we have to, then hopefully the outcome will be in our favor.
Last played Taylor County on December the 10th, came up with a 55-18 loss. And this is a good Taylor County team, that's for sure. They're 15-10 for a reason. But you got them tonight. How do you look at them different than December 10th?
We have gotten better. That game was, once again, it was in the beginning of the season. It was just everything was crazy. I had some girls going through anxiety problems. I know De'Ara didn't even play that game. But as far as it from the beginning of the season to now, we have gotten a whole lot better. So that'll be a good game tonight.
Not looking past this game, because there's nothing more important than a district game, but Monday night, Valentine's Day, is a big night because Washington County comes to town.
Yep.
Senior night for both the boys of Marion County and the girls.
Yep.
So Washington County coming back into town. You played them on December the 3rd, a 63-27 victory. Scott Elder couldn't be here today because he's playing in the tournament, but I'm sure that I could testify they are playing a little bit better.
Yeah.
What do you think about this coming up Monday night between Marion and Washington?
With it being our senior night, they just got to go out and give it their all. I mean, this is the last go around for them. You know what I mean? It's anybody act like I've been saying at the beginning of the whole interview. It's anybody's ball game. We just got to do what we do, and we just got to do it well. We got to execute our offense and our defense, and we just got to take it from there.
Doesn't take much to get them fired up for a Washington County game, does it?
It's always a rival border rivalry. So,
Thomas Nelson, John Hardin, finish up your season. Two tough teams. Both of those are on the road.
Yep. Tom Nelson would be a good one. We haven't played them at all this season, so that'd be a good matchup. I know John Hardin's playing well. They got to deal with the North Hardins and the Central Hardins, so they're going to go out there and give it their all because that's what they're playing against, good competition. So.
Yeah, Thomas Nelson's got Wibbles.
Yeah.
Wobbles, I think's their name, and she's a shooter and she's a scorer. So
and see, they got to go up against the Bethlehems and the Barstows.
That's correct.
So
That's
everybody is competing at this time in the season. So.
Well, the focus is on Taylor County tonight, so you're playing them at Taylor County. So any pregame stuff you can pass along to us? What do you got to do to come out with a W?
We just got to go out there. We got to lock in. We got to be focused. We got to be ready to go. We got to execute our offense and our defense, attack the basket, rebound. I mean, it's just what we got to have.
We appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you so
Coach
much.
is going to hang around with us because we're going to bring in our legend next, and I'm going to have at the end of the show our legend and Bree Elder have a little round table to talk about some women's basketball. Both of them have played collegiate ball, and I think it'll be a really good segment that we have. So keep it right here. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to talk to our legend. Melissa Hutchins will be up next. Saturday Morning Coaches Show. It's a G&G production. At Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, we'd like to say, wow! Wow! Thank you for voting us the best bank in Marion County, the best checking and savings in Marion County, the best loans and lending in Marion County, the best mortgages in Marion County, the best customer service in Marion County, and the one we're proud of, the best place to work in Marion County. Thank you to our customers and the community, and we couldn't do it without our great employees. So we are so proud to be voted the best place to work. Farmers National Bank, we're here for you. Farmers National Bank, 136 West Main Street in Lebanon and 2160 Campbellsville Highway. Farmers National Bank, member FDIC. So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights. Good luck, go Knights!
There's a craving in this instant, disposable world for something authentic, something real. The farmer knows what it means to be real because they face real issues every day. So an insurance agent who can provide real solutions to those problems is something you can hang your hat on. And that's why the farmers of Marion County trust Jesse Insurance. People who understand things only a farmer would.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue in Lebanon, across from the post office, 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
We've had some great basketball teams in our history here in Marion County. Whether it was the 1993 or the 2013 state champion teams, one key ingredient that made them a great team was trust. A great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same mentality is found at Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Go out and cheer for the Knights and the Lady Knights and bank with the area's chosen bank. Citizens National Bank of Lebanon, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Back at Center Square in downtown Lebanon. Hi, everybody. Hal Good on Facebook Live, G&G Productions for the Farmers National Bank Saturday Morning Coaches Show. As we've been talking ladies basketball, and we're going to continue this morning as we'll bring back in Marion County Lady Knight Coach Bree Elder in just a few moments to finish up our show. But our kids in education, but just back in Washington County, because that's where you got started.
You know, it's great to be able to come back to the community and to the school where I got my start and had education field since 1989. I dated myself, but that's okay. You know, taught and coached at Washington County. Got an opportunity to be a head coach at Harrodsburg. Moved up there and was there for 20 years and came back and 5 years ago to be the principal at Washington County. So it's kind of come full circle over the last 30 years.
We're talking to Coach Bree Elder about Sis Roby. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Bill Newton. The late Bill Newton, you played for him. Talk about playing with Bill and just talk about the character of Bill Newton.
You know, we were talking between the break. Salt of the earth, couldn't beat him. I tell people all the time I wouldn't be sitting in the seat I'm sitting in now if it weren't for the influence of that man. Outside of my own parents, he was probably the next most influential person in my life. You know, he taught us basketball, but beyond basketball, he taught us life and how to be good people and how to be respectful and disciplined. And I could go on and on and on about the impact that Bill Newton and you mentioned Sis Roby when you were talking to Coach Elder. You can't beat the influence that those people have. And I'm where I'm at today because of that influence.
Yeah, Bill Newton, if he were here today, he'd say, you know, I got a question for you. What time do we eat? Bill Newton, he was the king of the hospitality rooms, and anywhere we would go, he would eat. But he would be here today because we are going to eat at school grounds today. But he would be here. It's the coaches that leave, like what Coach Elder was saying and what you're saying. You know, just they leave that legacy because you do. You walk into Marion County High School and Sis Roby, just because the gym's named after her name echoes. Same thing with over in Washington County. That still echoes Bill Newton.
Every day I walk in that gym and I see that banner hanging on the wall. I would be remiss if I didn't think about him, but I think about him every single day. And every time I watch the girls play, I think about him, and I think about us and our team and the teams that have come through over the last almost 40 years since walking on that court. You can't walk into those gyms and not feel the presence of those two coaches. You just can't do it. It's like walking into Rupp Arena. You have to feel the presence of Adolph Rupp and the people that came before him. It's the same at Washington County and at Marion County when you walk into those gyms. Just the history and the tradition and the pride that goes into those programs it's palpable when you walk into those facilities.
Talking to Missy Hutchins, our Washington County legend for the day. Scott Elder, head coach of Washington County, had planned on being here, so we won't be doing a segment with him, but we'll talk a little Washington County ball. They're playing Henry County right now, so we hope to have some scores for you, but this is a Washington County team that is really playing much better. Scott's done a nice job with this team.
He has. When we interviewed and hired for that position this summer, we were very forthcoming. It's a building process with our program, and he's done a great job of coming in and connecting with our kids and has got them to a point where they're playing hard all the time, regardless of what the score may be. And they've experienced a little bit of success this year. He's revamped the schedule and put some teams on the schedule that we can be a little more competitive with. And as we try to build our program back to the tradition that we were 15, 20 years ago, that's what it's going to take. You got to put people on the schedule that you can play with, get confidence, for your players, for your team, and once they get that confidence, in the next couple of years, then we can start to rebuild that schedule and make it a little more challenging until we get to the point where we compete in the district.
And that's how you build programs. I mean, you're 10-14 right now in Washington County, and the girls are, and you're right. You are playing some teams that are more probably the same class or at least the same size of the Washington County.
We're not very big.
Yeah.
I laugh and tease our kids all the time when your biggest player is about 5'7". You've got to change how you play, and you got to change your game plan and what you do. And and the important thing is getting down into those lower levels and into that middle school program and some youth. We don't have a lot of youth programs for our kids in Washington County when it comes to basketball, and that's one of the biggest things that we've talked to Coach Elder about is building those youth programs, because without that and that middle school program, it impacts your high school program. If you don't have the feeder systems, as we all call them, feeding into your high school program. So he's doing a good job with that, and is going to focus some on that this summer of getting down into the middle school programs and helping there. And it helps that one of our assistant coaches does coach one of our middle schools. So they're already starting to see the system that he wants to implement when they get to us. And we have a lot of middle schoolers playing up for us this year. So that will help him too in the future.
That'll help him grow. And I really think, like when you play a Caverna that you're even with and you come out with a W, a Beth Haven that's pretty much on the same type of level.
Sure.
Coming up with wins like that, it builds not only your program, it builds a lot of confidence.
It does. You can just see the difference in the kids. When they walk out on the floor, they don't feel like they're already defeated. And that's important for them, that they feel like they've got a chance to win. And not that let's walk out on the floor, here we go again kind of a feeling, which we've seen in the past.
Know much about the tournament they're playing in this weekend? Nice to have a win yesterday, and then they're playing Henry County now.
It's down in Louisville at a private school called Latin Highlands. Don't know a whole lot about the other teams in the program in the tournament, but I know again it's a tournament that he was familiar with from his time at Bergen, and so got us in there. Yeah, it's good that our kids can say we're in the semifinals this morning.
Marion and Washington County, they're always a lot of fun. Lead me through your senior year when Marion and Washington County played.
It was my junior year when we played them in the finals of the region.
That was a big game.
Marion County, all you need to say. It was always an intense rivalry. Francita Guns, Susan Gooden. You can still see all the girls on the floor, and it was always intense. You knew it was going to be physical. You knew it was going to be typically fast-paced. There was going to be a lot of pressing. Physical, again. You can say it 10 times. Physical, aggressive, great memories, some of the best times.
State tournament
my junior year.
Your junior year. Talk about some of your teammates you played with that year.
Oh, wow. We had the Twin Towers, Madge Smalley and Martha Girton in the paint. I was point guard. Karen Mudd, Mary Keene. were our two wings. We pressed a lot. We could shoot from the outside, get it in on the block in the paint. Not a lot of teams had two kids over 6 feet tall. We actually had three. So we were big, but we could press, we could run. Fun times. It was before the three-point shot, so would have been fun to have had Karen and Mary on the wings, firing it up with a three-point shot. But that was,
Any memories from that year, that state tournament year? I mean, was there a certain game or anything maybe that Coach Bill Newton told you that still kind of sticks in your mind?
Your people would say that's kind of weird, but I think it would have to be the thing that still sticks in my mind is after the Warren Central loss, and when Mr. Newton came into our locker room and he couldn't even speak to us, and instead of speaking to us, he went to the board and he filled the board up with a message that he wanted to give to us, because it wasn't typical that you saw Mr. Newton be emotional, and he was so emotional after that loss that he couldn't speak to us. And I still remember him going to that board and writing on that board what he wanted to say to us.
How about that? Wrote it on chalkboard. Great, great guy, and that's a great story to tell. You've seen a lot of changes. You talk about the three-point shot. You talk about, just getting the ball up down the court anymore. I'm seeing a lot of defense out of women's basketball. What's a couple of things that you're seeing?
Oh, wow, to see the change just from high school ball and then to have played in college in the mid '80s and the way the game's changed, the three-point shot, the pace of the game, the physicality of the game, it's on a whole different plane now. And you think back to those times that we were, that was pretty close post Title IX, and the way the game's grown is. I mean, it's unimaginable how the game has grown, but just the athletes themselves. And when you look at the top athletes in college now compared to when I played in the mid '80s, there is no comparison. The weight training that took place. Yeah, we lifted weights, we did things, but the physical conditioning that has grown since the mid '80s when I played you can't compare it. And then the game itself, the pace, just the pace of the game is so different. And, as far as coaches, I respect Coach Elder and both Coach Elders, and the way our girls have responded to that. When you look at, I love watching basketball, and I think back on that 1983 team, and what could we have done had we had the resources that our kids have access to now. Our kids don't know the struggle that we had back in the day of weight facilities and the training and just the knowledge and the technology that kids have access to now that we didn't have back then. To watch a game film back then, you stuck the old VCR tape in and you watched it on the TV.
That's right.
Now with Huddle and all the technology that kids have access to, when you're scouting an opponent, can't tell you the number of nights of sitting in front of my TV with the VCR remote and rewinding, getting that scouting report ready for the next day, and how much time that took. So you could talk for hours on the changes in the games from the time I played until today with the advances.
Well, we're delighted to have you here. We're going to have you back for another segment here this morning. But, two things. One is I've done a lot of broadcasting in 32 years. I've worked with some really good people. But as far as your knowledge of the game and working with you and as articulate you are, I've worked some All-A Classics with you. So I think we worked the state tournament together one year. You're one of the best I've ever worked with. And so I've done that for a long time. And that's not saying that some of the folks that I haven't worked with have been great, but you are by far, or myself being very good, but by far you're one of the best I've ever worked with on radio. And secondly, you're our youngest legend, so you can take that home with you.
Oh, wow.
Like everybody else is much older than you. So we wanted to come to you because of what you do know. I mean, what you've been able to know in basketball and done and being able to bring back to Washington County. I commend you for that.
Well, I appreciate that, Hal. That means a lot to me that you say that. And, when you said be our legend this week, that's a pretty strong word, but I appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Melissa Hutchins, again, principal at Washington County High School, but longtime commander. Keep it right here. Next, we're going to have a segment where we're going to talk with Robin Humphreys and some of the folks here at School Grounds. We're going to let you know if you've never been here at Center Square. We're going to talk about Center Square, talk about maybe coming up for a cup of coffee or lunch. And also, when we come back for our final segment, we're going to talk to Melissa Hutchins and also Bree Elder. We'll do a little round table to get us out of here. If you're just tuning in, this is the Farmers National Bank Saturday Morning Coaches Show, which is a G&G production.
For a lot of people, home ownership is a big to-do list item that has to get checked before you feel like you're a grown-up, living your best life. If you're ready to check that box, talk to Derek Brussel at Farmers National Bank. Derek specializes in guiding first-time home buyers, young borrowers, and other newbies toward a responsible, manageable, fulfilling financial future. Visit farmersnational.bank to get in touch. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402972.
So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights good luck. Go Knights!
To a farmer, a handshake is as good as a contract, and a man's word is something you can actually build on. So to have an insurance agent who's accountable, trustworthy, and dedicated to providing the best customer service possible, well, that sure does go a long way. And that's why the farmers in Lebanon trust Jesse Insurance.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue, across from the post office. Call 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
We've had some great basketball teams in our history here in Marion County. Whether it was the 1993 or the 2013 state champion teams, one key ingredient that made them a great team was trust. A great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same mentality is found at Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Go out and cheer for the Knights and the Lady Knights and bank with the area's chosen bank. Citizens National Bank of Lebanon, member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Back in downtown Lebanon for the Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Hal Good. John Graves has the morning off, but we still got another segment coming up with our coach and our legend in just a moment. We're at School Grounds Coffee this morning, and glad to have Ashley Knopp. Robin Humphreys is in here as well to talk to us. We are so glad to be here to talk about not only the facility, but also the arts program that's going on here, Robin. Start with Ashley. Boy, the coffee, the hot chocolate. I've been up here for lunch before. This is an awesome spot. Talk about it.
School Grounds Coffee it's a great spot. It's an awesome spot to be. Not only do we serve amazing coffee and smoothies and frappes, we serve delicious lunch made by me and Miss Regina, soups of the day. But the best thing about this coffee shop is that we're a nonprofit. So when you come in here and you spend your money, you're putting it right back into the Arts Center, right back into the community, and right back into your kids and all the amazing things that we can offer here.
See, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
this is a nonprofit. So you run it as a nonprofit and come through that. That is an excellent idea because it complements what you're doing with this arts program.
Yes, it does. And we have Robin to thank for that. Her amazing idea and ambition. Look how beautiful it looks. And it's just an amazing spot. My kids come here every day. After school, they can do their homework, hang out with their friends, and it's a safe, beautiful, fun environment where they can grow and learn and also expand on what they want to know through the arts, music, dance, everything.
My folks at Community Action come down here for lunch a whole lot. This is just a neat place to get away to.
It is. And this little small town. So, usually you don't see a place like this in a small town. You have to go to Lexington or Louisville. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful place for them. And thanks to Robin.
Well, what an awesome job. And Robin, I know it has been a lot of work, and we're going to throw in a couple of pictures of some things outside. One of them is, as you come in, is the beautiful horse, Bob Mattingly's sons. I know Bill and Terry and their family gave. I'm really close with Bob, and I see that, and I think of him. But also all the other art that you put together. Talk about the program here.
So one of the things we wanted to do here was, just give local artists a place to exhibit their art and to sell their art. So we have, I think it's Lois, who's a Brady, I believe. Her art is up right now.
I think Little Snow. Yeah, they were talking about her. Yes.
Yeah, so her art is up on the walls right now, lots of her pieces, and they're all for sale. And that goes back to 100% back to the artists. So what they sell in here, and we do have artists that sell quite a few pieces, that we just support the local artists. So they get to display for a month. And so if there's an artist out there that wants to come display, come talk to us, and we'll put you on the schedule to get your art up on the wall and just kind of promote it and let people see what they're doing and be able to have an outlet to sell, as we don't have a sale gallery really in town. But we also are doing, of course, our theater program. We just finished casting Madagascar. It's full, and A Sound of Music. So we have,
Singing in the Rain?
Sound of Music. Oh, my goodness. They all run together. It is Singing in the Rain. Madagascar for our little ones, Singing in the Rain for our adults. So we have a full adult cast, and then we have a full youth cast as well. They will be performing last weekend in April and first 2 weekends in May, which is exciting. And then we have we have a hip-hop dance class that starts next week for children and for adults. And we have a musical theater dance class for children and for adult women. So all those are starting next week. If you're interested, on our website, KentuckyClassicArts.com, under the education portion, drop down. I don't know. I try not to have my hand in everything. But Kathy Hardy Snow, who is originally from Campbellsville, she taught her first year in this building, and she's back now after traveling all over, teaching show choirs and arts programs, running her own theater production company in North Carolina. She's here now. She's going to be teaching piano and voice and those dance classes and helping with the musical theater program. So we're very excited about that we're offering now. And so there'll be more things coming, some art classes and different things coming down the pipe. But yeah, we've got all kinds of fun stuff happening in this building. Every day after school, the kids come here, and we have Monday through Friday, we've got lots of students in this building.
This is an awesome building, and we'll put some websites up for Robin and the crew here, so you can reach not only the school grounds, but also what's going on with the theater. But Center Square in general, beautiful entrance, just a beautiful building. Talk about it for a minute.
So there was a group of people, and I believe it was, the renovation was finished in 2005. So I think around 2002, or they were going to tear down this building, and there was a group of people who wanted to see it, restored and kept. They got grant money, put a sign on the wall that says Cultural and Performing Arts Center. That was their vision at that time, and just trying to find, the people who put the work in to do it. So we now have a 9-member board of directors. We incorporated as a 501c3 in 2015, and we have a contract with the city. They support us. We, in turn, give back to them and take care of this building and make it open and accessible to the community. So we are all the time, asking for help from different people. The tourism supports us, as well as fiscal court. Only a small portion of what we do comes from tuition from classes and ticket sales. Every ticket that's purchased by the community to come here, and every lunch that's purchased, does help go back and support what we're doing here at the Art Center, but allows us to have more staff and to employ new people like Kathy Snow to actually expand our class offerings and do more things. So it's just, we're growing.
This is an awesome setup again. I know you might want to throw your hours out there for us again, and maybe a phone number to call. School grounds, go ahead.
Well, I believe our hours here at school grounds are Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and then on Saturday, 8 to 3. And we're now offering lunch every day of the week. We are sadly closed on Sundays as of right now. So, and the phone number here, you're going to have to tell me what that is.
270-699-2787, which is ARTS, so 699-ARTS.
Yeah, very good. You want to drop the website again so we can check out and see what's showing?
ClassicArts.com.
Girls are awesome. Thanks for having us here, do programs, and then you guys, we're glad to promote whatever you're doing. So looking forward to lunch. Thank you both. Come see them right here at School Grounds. Again, Rob and Ashley, we appreciate them. Before we take our break, I want to bring Derek Brussels in here. He's with Farmers National Bank. And Farmers National Bank here in Lebanon have been just a great sponsor and have been a great part of what we're doing. And we're glad you've been here. I hope I haven't bored you too much by having to sit over there.
Interesting stuff.
Well, interesting stuff's what you're doing at Farmers Bank. That's why we've encouraged, last week we had Misha, we got Derek today. Talk a little bit about Farmers Bank, because whenever you talk about what you guys are doing, you all are making it easy for the client to come in, and you're making it simple to get through all this vast paperwork sometimes you have to fill out.
That's what we try to do. Been around since late 1800s, so like I said, we've kind of got our fingers in a whole lot of different things. We try to help the consumer the best we can.
Talk about what you do there at Farmers, Derek.
I'm a lender there, so we help with if you're trying to buy a home, purchase vehicles, side-by-sides, boats, you name it, we help finance it. So,
and I think more and more, with the home sales just skyrocketing and folks are looking for homes and folks are building homes, having that simplified, especially from a financial standpoint, is very important.
Yes, that is true. A lot of the times we get people that's never done any of this type of stuff before, so we try to hold their hand and walk them through it and make the process as easy as we can.
I think Farmers Bank also makes it easy. It's just to come in and sit down and let's do business. And I think folks forget that sometimes.
That's what we try to do. So,
talk a little bit about your locations here in Marion County. I know you got a couple locations, and talk about where your office is if somebody wanted to come and see Derek about a house loan or a boat loan.
So yes, we have two locations right on Main Street, which is if you see the brick courtyard, that's us. Then the other one is in the parking lot of Walmart. So two easily findable buildings. I'm on Main Street, so if you need a loan, just come see us.
Well, we're social media hounds, so we follow farmers really faithfully, but I can't get over the number of loans that y'all been doing. And I tell you, the volume of that is no problem for the folks at Farmers National Bank.
That is very true. We are busy right now. A lot of money is exchanging hands, whether you're buying or selling, we can help with it.
We'll drop a number to call if they want to talk to Derek Brussels on Monday.
Yes, it's 270-692-3177.
You've been great to talk to. I thought it was my first fan over there, guys. I thought maybe my first fan got here, but it was Derek. But anyway, we're a fan of Derek's, that's for sure. Thanks to Farmers National Bank, and we appreciate what you're doing to the lending community out there.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Derek Brussels of Farmers National Bank, the sponsor of the Saturday Morning Coaches Show, brought to you by Farmers National Bank. We're back in a moment on G&G Productions.
For a lot of people, home ownership is a big to-do list item that has to get checked before you feel like you're a grown-up, living your best life. If you're ready to check that box, talk to Derek Brussel at Farmers National Bank. Derek specializes in guiding first-time home buyers, young borrowers, and other newbies toward a responsible, manageable, fulfilling financial future. Visit farmersnational.bank to get in touch. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402972.
So what's going on in Marion County? New homes. That's right, new Ram homes. They're going up in the Ridgeview subdivision, just off the Lebanon bypass, behind the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. These Ram homes are stunning and affordable while maintaining slam dunk quality, featuring full press customer service. Ram Homes at numbers 859-336-6000. Let the Ram team get started for you.
Ram Homes wishes the Knights and the Lady Knights good luck, go Knights!
There's a craving in this instant, disposable world for something authentic, something real. The farmer knows what it means to be real because they face real issues every day. So an insurance agent who can provide real solutions to those problems is something you can hang your hat on. And that's why the farmers of Marion County trust Jesse Insurance. People who understand things only a farmer would.
To hear more about their farm insurance products, stop by 101 South Spalding Avenue in Lebanon, across from the post office, 270-595-0000. Jesse Insurance, the agent with choices. Protect what you sow.
Lebanon, the heart of Kentucky, has always been known as a legendary place for dining, and it still is. Lebanon offers great options for virtually every type of dining. Fine cuisine with a chef-driven menu? We have it. Country dining with a local flair? We have it. How about a great lunch spot? We have it. We even have an old-time fountain drink counter, a 50-style drive-in with the best chili dog around, and a sweet shop complete with hand-dipped ice cream. For a complete listing of all the wonderful places to eat in Lebanon, go to visitlebanonky.com.
We've had some great basketball teams in our history here in Marion County. Whether it was the 1993 or the 2013 state champion teams, one key ingredient that made them a great team was trust. A great team is made up of team members that completely trust one another to get things done. That same mentality is found at Citizens National Bank of Lebanon. Go out and cheer for the Knights and the Lady Knights and bank with the area's chosen bank. Citizens National Bank of Lebanon, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Back again on the Farmers National Bank Saturday Morning Coaches Show as we're finishing up here again at School Grounds. A great morning. John Gray's out for today. I did get a halftime score, 18-15 at the half. Washington County Commanderettes lead Henry County in the tournament they're playing at. And again, I know Coach Elder couldn't be here this morning, but glad to have our other Coach Elder in this morning. Bree's here from the Marion County Lady Knights, and Melissa Hutchins, principal at Washington County, but our legend this morning as we've been highlighting legends. It's so good to see young people like Bree get involved after a college career. You played for Union, she played for Dayton, but good to take that experience, and I think she may not realize now, but she may. She's very mature, Bree is. What is she bringing to these young ladies that she's coaching? Talk about it.
It's awesome to have young people get into the coaching profession. Coaching's tough. Teaching is tough. It's a tough profession we're in today. And to be able to do that and to give back again, I know you're a Marion County native, and to be able to give back to your community, there's nothing more gratifying. And to have young people do that, to come back and be a role model. Our kids need positive role models. And to do that is kudos to you.
Yeah, I think so too, because you're not only seeing, as I said, some of your friends. You'll be seeing some of your friends' kids pretty soon, but you're seeing cousins, you're seeing people like that you're leading through. That has to be pretty rewarding for you.
It is. It's definitely rewarding. And then come next year, I'll be coaching against a sister. Kyla's going to take over the Kemmelsville program.
Oh.
So it's just amazing to be back in the game of basketball and seeing people that you once had so much love for it and still have that same love for it. And it's in comparison to it. It never changes.
Mentorship is important. We talked about that during your segment, but you heard Missy talk a little bit about it when she played at Washington County. And even though there's a difference from when y'all played in years, there's not really a lot of difference, is there, the coaching to the player?
No, it's just the roles have changed. Instead of me getting dressed, going out there and giving it my all, it's me getting dressed in professional gear and still giving it my all. So it's all still goes hand in hand, you know what I mean? So
those are important pieces. To be able to put that together. But I like where you were talking about, Bill Newton, and even what Bree was talking about, Sis Roby. The things you'll remember and the things you'll take with them, I think they help you coach better, don't they?
Oh, they absolutely do. There were times when I was coaching when in the middle of a game, in the heat of a moment, I'd be like, what would Bill Newton do right now?
Mm-hmm. I do that with Coach Milby. I'd be like, what would Milby do? What would Trent Milby do right now at this moment? So, yeah, I feel that.
It's always there. It's always in the back of your mind.
You see that. What about the future? What's Coach Elder going to see in the next 10 years in this sport? What do you see in your crystal ball?
Oh, wow. When you look at how different the game is now than even 10 years ago, if the game keeps advancing at the pace that it already is, the sky's the limit. Mm-hmm. It just seems like again, I go back to the physicality and the pace of the game. It seems like it gets better and better every year, and just the technical end of it, the coaching. We had great coaches growing up now, but the mindset of coaches now, because they've played at a different level. Bill Newton was a great college player, but the game when Bill Newton played is very different than when Bree played, and then when I played. And I think you're going to continue to see the growth in the game because of that.
Well, just take one factor. How would it have been to play without the three-point shot?
I mean, it would still be fun, but it would have been a whole lot more challenging because I felt like that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to drive and get the kick out instead of just driving. We wanted to open up the court more, and I feel like that's what happened when the three-point shot came.
Well, even when you played, you and a couple of your teammates, you all like to hit those threes.
Oh, yeah. We had a really good.
Do it.
We had Brooke Roberts.
That's right.
She could shoot from anywhere behind the arc. Michaela Epps, she was really well, shot the ball really well on the three-point line. Kyvan Gunn Rogers, she was even what you would consider our post player at the time, but she could play 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So I think the three-point just opened up the game of basketball a whole lot more. Yeah.
As we wind up, you got Taylor tonight. I know I speak for Coach Hutchins. You know, all the Washington County people are for Marion to come in and do well in this game. I mean, that's just how it's been. Some folks say, well, you just want, a Washington County person to want a Marion County team to lose anything. That's not the case.
Even
there's one game they're going to want you to lose.
Right. And
but
that's
going to be Monday night. But you've got Taylor County tonight, and I think, you know it's a tough opponent. Again, just to revamp what we talked about earlier, what do you think you got to be prepared with as you walk in the gym tonight? It's a chance to be number 2 in the district.
We just got to be focused. We got to be there. We can't be still in Marion County. You know what I mean? We got to be there, and everybody has to give 110% if we want to win that basketball game. Because Taylor County is going to come out, and they're going to come out hard. I can feel it now, and it's not even game time. But if we go back and we do what we're supposed to do, and give it 110% effort, then it'll be anybody's ball game.
Monday night, Marion and Washington County. You've seen and played a bunch of them. You've watched Washington play all year. First of all, the boys game. I think you're going to see, even though Marion County's had some injuries, a couple of players come back, I think you're still going to see a very competitive game. I think it's anybody's ball game. Washington County, they've struggled a little bit the past few games. Your thoughts on Monday night?
It's Marion, Washington.
Yeah.
It don't really matter.
That's all you
Be ready for a dogfight.
Girls as well, I think. I think the women's, I think it'll be the same way.
I think so too. Our kids will play hard. Talent-wise, we probably don't match up real well with Marion, but I know our kids will come out and fight till the end. And again, it's Marion, Washington. Everybody knows that rivalry.
Yep.
The kids know it. They feel it.
I think you're right.
And it's just like the amount of respect that goes into that game it's not just a rivalry. It's all around just great. You know what I mean? You go over there, like with us, when I went over there, I seen some people. I seen Coach Tingle. He was my coach, but Jeff Tingle.
Yes.
You just see people that you loved seeing, so it's going to be good.
Well, as we're finishing up this morning, those of you that are on live, give me a thumbs up or a heart, and that way we can share this broadcast with anyone that wants to watch it over the weekend, because that's the thing that we do at G&G Productions. We give you a live and free production of what you can watch at any time throughout this weekend. You can watch this coach's show. Feel free to share this with any friends and relatives that live out of town, because this is a coach's show that we're going to be doing one more next week. We'll be at Cedarwood in Lebanon at 11 o'clock next week to be bringing you another coach's show right here on Facebook Live, G&G Productions. Our next production will be Monday night. It'll be Marion County and Washington County. We'll have the girls and the boys. 5:30 is our pregame. Tip-off for the ladies will be 6. It's senior night at Marion County for both the girls and the boys, and we'll have all the senior activities for you live and free right here on G&G Productions. Coach, thanks. Good luck against Taylor County tonight. Bree Elder, head coach of the Marion County Lady Knights. Missy Hutchins, we could put you a coach anywhere if you wanted me to be your manager, because she knows the game. Principal at Washington County High School, but longtime commander. I appreciate you coming over this morning. We're going to have lunch. We thank the folks here at School Grounds as we encourage you. It's coffee or lunch. Stop by and check them out right at Center Square in Lebanon. For the crew of G&G Productions, we thank everybody for being here this morning. Till next time, Hal B. Good, wishing you and yours a pleasant weekend. So long, everybody.
This has been the G&G production of the Farmers National Bank Saturday Morning Coaches Show. A full-court discussion of Washington and Marion County basketball. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show is brought to you by Farmers National Bank, Graham Construction, Jesse Insurance, Lebanon Tourism, and Citizens National Bank. The Saturday Morning Coaches Show, a presentation of G&G Productions.